は僕をダメなやつと思う。鏡を見つめる僕を見下げているけど、中には大きな力希望がある。 Maybe I'm a little young, but you don't know what I've become. Can't you see it in my face? A demon living in disguise, but you can see the killer in my eyes. I've got a look you can't escape. You can't escape. No one understands は僕をダメなやつと思う鏡を見つめる僕を見避けているけど中には大きな力希望がある Maybe I'm a little young but you don't know what I've become Can't you see it in my face A demon living in disguise but you can see the killer in my eyes I've got a look you can't escape You can't No one understood the world that I was making Look me in the face and tell me I was faking Maybe I'm a little young but you don't know what I've become Can't you see it in my face A demon living in disguise but you can see the killer in my eyes I've got a look you can't escape
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Thursday stream. I hope everyone's having an awesome Thursday. Welcome, everybody. Heat, how's it going? John Lithium. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to you. Thank you, appreciate it. It is 4:20 somewhere. Enjoy, folks. It is almost the holidays. It is almost the holidays. Next week, I think Thursday, there will be no stream. Wednesday and Thursday are going to be tough next week, so probably no stream for the 24th and the 25th. The same goes for the 31 and the 1st. Ladybug, welcome. Welcome, welcome. All right, folks, we got to get started. Today is going to be one of those chill days as well. Let's get started, folks. Hey, if you want to support the channel, there are many different ways of doing so. Spread the word, folks. That's one of the better ways of supporting the channel. If you want to support the channel directly, check out the stuff and the links and the things. Have you done that? Look at all that stuff and things and links. Check out my show on this space every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Join the Discord, folks. That is very important. This week had like 5 weeks of stuff happen in it. Seriously. So we're just gonna take it in stride here. House bans youth trans healthcare goes to Senate. Trump will sign it. Well, I have good news on that. Derry Bennett, as disgusting as it was for Congress to do this, the chances of it passing the Senate are very slim. Of course, we'll keep an eye out on that. But essentially what they want to do is just more anti-trans legislation. We will keep track on that. If it passes the Senate, then we'll raise the alarms here. Although I have a tough time thinking that it's going to go anywhere past this. Yesterday, if you had the wherewithal and managed to get through the president's address yesterday, this just unhinged address, we learned absolutely nothing. I genuinely thought some crazy stuff was going to happen, and he was going to do just some bananas out there stuff. But no, it was just the greatest hits played over and over again. This sounds, if you had the stones to watch it, it reeks of desperation because things aren't going that well. Otherwise, why else would you need to do an emergency affordability message or press conference about how things are going so great? You wouldn't need to do that because you would just know that things are going fine. Like, you don't need to be told that the economy is doing great. We can see it. We can see it in our pocketbooks. Yeah, common sense is not so common. If I'd known it was only going to be 20 minutes, I'd watch it. It was relatively short, so I managed to get by it. I managed to get through it. But seriously, it reeks of desperation. Because things don't look so good. Things don't look so good for him and the Republican Party. Whereas he was bullied into doing it. Yeah, I would probably buy that theory. Someone must have just kind of taken him aside and said, "Look, sir, Mr. President, sir." Seriously, they probably took him aside and said, "Look, the numbers don't look great, so you better get up there and say something." But that's not a really a good sell to me. This reeks of propaganda a la North Korea and Russia. Yeah, it does, right? Like, reality, whatever. I watched a weird Apple TV movie instead. Nice. I watched like 5 minutes just him bragging about BS that isn't true. Yeah, it's the greatest hits, right? The greatest hits. Just on repeat. Dojo Drummer, the CPI numbers came out and he can justify his affordability nonsense. I'd love to be able to dig a little deeper into that data. I would take that with a grain of salt. But the reality is, we do have an affordability problem. No doubt about it. Bruno, welcome. I don't know if I said hello to Kirkenstein's monster. Welcome. Fully salted, definitely. Hey! Zeke, welcome. Yeah, so it's unclear if we can really trust those numbers, but hey, you know. But we've got some more announcements regarding our descent into full-on fascist propaganda. We've got the Patriot Games happening in 2026. I'm going to only say afuera today. Yeah, good to see you. We'll be talking about that. This healthcare stuff is really going to come bite everyone in the butt. And we know we know that things are bad because Republicans are starting to panic here. The job and they're really trying to scramble for an answer, but the problem is their politics doesn't really have an answer to that, right? Like the conservative answer to healthcare is just like, well, good luck and like, you know, die, I guess. If you do, you do. If you die, you die. The jobs number from 2 days ago looks bad, and if there was a hope to increase manufacturing in the U.S., there's evidence that the tariffs completely backfired. This takes time to unwind. Yeah, I mean, like, but we knew this, right? Like, we knew how this would play out. Like, how do we expect that the way these tariffs were put were going to bring back manufacturing? Of course it backfired, because that's not the way you do it. You're supposed, if you really wanted to, really wanted to, like, sit down and start working on quote unquote bringing manufacturing back to the United States, it would require you to have that infrastructure. Like, where are the where's the manufacturing here? Like, where are the plants that are supposed to be replacing, you know, the supposed tariffed items, right, that we're going to build here? It's not happening. They're not being built. Right, there was no plan. Well, we knew it. You also need to be able to support that with evidence. I agree. I agree. And you're preaching to the choir with me. I completely agree with you. Yeah. No, I agree. I see what you're saying. Yeah, we have concepts of a plan. Yeah. It's just so frustrating because, like, you don't you can see this, and I guess I'm mostly speaking to the other side. It's getting hot. I'm speaking mostly to the other side. This should be common sense, right? You should be able to deduce that. But unfortunately, it's not. That's not the way it's playing out, right? Like, no matter how good we can get at explaining it, it doesn't seem to work. But no, you're right. You're right. Any position that you hold, whether it be anything from healthcare to whatever, you should be able to kind of back that up with some real world information here. I agree with that 100%. Now, the plan is to make the billionaire class even richer. Yep. Undoubtedly. So they can make us all starve and force us to go into serfdom again. It's already starting in a way. Yeah, I mean, it's this new, it's a new it's a new, like, techno serfdom that we live in with all these technocratic oligarchs. Capitalism is just decentralized feudalism with extra steps. Yeah. But I was told we were supposed to get so much freedom. We're supposed to get so much freedom. However, I guess I didn't read the asterisks where freedom just means the freedom to pick your chains. Forgot to read that part. I'd like a study that shows just how expensive it is to rent a storefront, like little coffee shops, fun stores, clothing stores, bookstores. Can't afford rent. These little businesses drive our economy, not Nvidia. Yeah, 100%. I'm pretty sure you could find it. I'm pretty sure, like, you can find economic studies dictating exactly this, like how much exactly these things cost. In fact, I'm almost certain there are economic studies depicting the data that you want, that you're looking for. Choose your king. Yeah, that's the asterisk we forgot to mention when we entered this capitalism snafu over here. The freedom asterisk, small print on the bottom. It says the freedom to choose your king. Look, capitalism is so great that you get to customize. You get to customize the chain you wear. Isn't that great? Isn't that fantastic?
The house works is that generally, I mean, I feel like I can count on one hand the number of discharge petitions that I've even talked about over the course of the past 15 years.
I wrote this down. The Bulwark had a write-up about this, that there have only been two, they've succeeded just twice in the 21st century. And in terms of success rate, since 1935, less than 4% have gotten enough signatures. And now you have like a handful.
It's almost happened on a daily basis.
Exactly.
Now.
Yeah.
And to be clear, what a discharge petition is that the way that the House of Representatives set up, the Speaker of the House basically.
So we talked about this yesterday. It's a workaround if nothing is able to get done. This discharge petition is a way to effectively force a vote on legislation. At 36 flavors of ice cream because you have the illusion of choice. Yeah, which, hey, look, whatever. God bless. The only valid flavor of ice cream is simply vanilla.
Dictates what bills are going to get to the floor of the House. And that is generally maintained because the members of the party of the speakers of the House, of the Speaker of the House, they don't. They go along with what the Speaker says because they feel like, well, I mean, not just because they agree with them, but I imagine also you mess with the Speaker, you're going to lose your position on a committee. You're going to, you're just not providing party unity. And the crack up is so great amongst the right now. And this will be something good to talk about with Laura K. Field, at least from an intellectual standpoint, to the extent that there is intellect going on there, and there is some in some quarters. But the crack up, right?
Yeah, we're using it. We're stretching the word here. We're doing some massaging on the definition of intellectual. But also, unfortunately, all our 401ks are dependent on Nvidia and the stock market. True, true. Yep. If you have a 401k, yeah, you're at the mercy of rich people's feelings that day.
From, down to their like podcasters, into their lawmakers, into the executive branch in the White House with Susie Wiles. I mean, it's all coming at them very quickly right now. And this is the second instance in as many weeks, I feel like, that there's been a discharge petition. The Epstein files, of course, was a discharge petition. That is where you have the majority of members of the House. And
Yeah, I almost forgot what a lame palate you have. Yeah, I'm pretty bland, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Like, look, hear me out, okay? You can dunk on me for other food, but hear me out on the ice cream stuff, okay? The reason why vanilla is the only flavor that's valid, okay? Hear me out. Is because it's so versatile. You can add anything to it. You don't need to go any fancier than that. You want chocolate? You can add chocolate syrup to it. You can make a banana split. You can add bananas to it. You can add fruit to it. You can use vanilla ice cream to make some bomb milkshakes. Okay? Like, tell me that is not a good argument, okay? Orange hue, vanilla is like the Lego blocks of ice cream. Yep. We need a pope going woke communist. I agree. I'm with you. See what I'm saying? Look, you can dunk on me for other bad food takes, okay? But this one I'm standing on business with this one, okay? I'm firmly planting my feet on that one.
if it's all the Democrats voting, that means that there has to be defectors from the Republican side, and that's the case with this one as well. Vote to bring a bill to the floor. Now, that doesn't mean that the bill is going to pass automatically. Some people will say, like, I just think this needs a hearing, et cetera, et cetera. But more often than not, if you're going to buck your leadership, you're doing it for a reason. And that is because you feel the political pressure. And the four Republicans who defected, 3 of them are in purple districts in Pennsylvania, and 1, Mike Lawler, in a blue district.
We talked about this yesterday. So just to be clear, like, this is not a Republican come to Jesus moment. This is a Republican oh snap moment. Okay, like they would never go against their leadership unless the situation was so dire that they are really actually afraid of losing their seats. That's how bad it is. So that is the name of the game here. Even George Washington enjoyed vanilla ice cream. I made brownies last night from scratch. Nice. And now believe I need some vanilla ice cream and fudge. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm talking about? Yeah. That's exactly it. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
New York State. And so they're worried about what's going to happen in a week. And to be clear, it's going to happen in a week regardless. The discharge petition says that you need 30 days. The bill must be brought up within 30 days. Now, Mike Johnson could bring the bill to the floor today or tomorrow or any day in between if he wanted to. He may. Because they're not going to get much credit for their vote to extend the ACA subsidies a month after it's clear that they're not there anymore.
Yeah.
The Senate is very unlikely to pick up this bill, although it's possible, but unlikely. So this is part of the Republican crack-up that's happening. But first, let's go to Jim McGovern, from Congressman from which district? Brian doesn't say a number here.
Somewhere
I'll
in
get right on that bus. Sorry.
He is from
Massachusetts.
Yeah, oh yeah, I know.
Oh man, oof! Brian's gonna get some commissary deducted for that one. If you lose your seat, it makes you way harder to insider trade your stocks before you make policy changes. True. Yeah, and you can't have that. That's true. Thank you for the follow, Mad Prophet 1990. Yeah, that's a difficult position to be put in. How else are you gonna outperform the market if you're not on the inside?
From Massachusetts, but he's from the heart of the Commonwealth. the Worcester County area and Worcester.
Second congressional
Second
district.
congressional.
In the second, it really should be the first, but
How do you not know your own congressional district?
Yeah,
it's on
there
here.
you
I'm just
go.
giving you shit for not putting it on on the
Oh!
sheet.
Hey!
Here is Jim McGovern.
Language. Samuel Cedar. Samuel Cedar.
But the truth is, they've always said they have a plan, but they've never had a plan. Let me just go through a list of things here. In February of 2016, then presidential candidate Donald Trump said, we're going to replace Obamacare with something so much better. Nothing followed. On February 27th of 2017, the president said, we have a really terrific, I believe, health care plan coming out. Never did. May 10th, 2018, Donald Trump said, but wait till you see the plans that we have coming out literally over the next 4 weeks. We have a great health care plan coming.
Yeah, no, that's never happening. Like, a Republican healthcare plan is not, like, that's not a thing. The conservative ideology, what healthcare plan? They literally say, if you can't afford healthcare, that is a you problem, okay? That is they've literally said, their argument and position on healthcare is, oh, you can't pay for healthcare? Well, that's a skill issue, okay? Good luck. So they can't have a healthcare program, okay? It's non-existent, as far as any real policy. A Republican healthcare plan looks a lot like my thesis on quantum physics. It doesn't exist. The plan is announced. There's a plan coming. Yeah, every time, you know, the best is yet to come.
Coming out. Nothing happened. At a press gaggle near Air Force One in May of 2019, he said, we're coming up with a great health care plan. We're going to have a fantastic health care plan. It's coming out in the next 4 weeks. Nothing ever materialized. June 16th, 2019, the president said, we're going to produce a phenomenal health care plan, and we already have the concept of a plan, and it will be so much better health care. Yeah, well, we'll be announcing it in about 2 months, maybe less. Nothing happened. Fox News interview, the president said, we're signing in a health care plan within 2 weeks, a full and complete health care plan. Nothing happened. July 2020, the president said, well,
I mean, it sounds like the plan is nothing. It sounds like that is the healthcare plan.
we're going to be doing a health care plan. We're going to be doing a very inclusive health care plan. I'll be signing it sometime very soon. It might be Sunday, but very, very soon. Nothing happened. August 3rd, 2020, the president said we're going to be introducing a tremendous health care plan sometime hopefully prior to the end of the month. It's just about completed. Nothing. September 15th, 2020, the president says you're going to have a new health care. We have a whole bunch of alternatives to Obamacare that are 50% less expensive and are actually better. Nothing. Never happened. September 10th, 2024, ABC News presidential debate. He says, I have concepts of a plan. You'll be hearing about it in the not too distant future. Nothing happened. December.
Yeah, their healthcare plan is right next to their is right next to the vote for releasing the Epstein files. It's coming any day now. YouTube chat is such madly censored rubbish. Yeah, it is. Welcome, Nadia. I'm a bit late on this, but as long as you're not drinking plain soda water like Bert does, your palate is sophisticated enough. Well, I appreciate that. But I also enjoy, well, it's not plain. I wouldn't say plain soda water. I drink a lot of seltzer. But it is not plain seltzer. What specific color is your microphone? It's just like black. But the little foam is a little foam that I ordered is kind of like a sky blue, light blue. It's almost the same color as my shirt. Look at that. Well, my undershirt anyways. Seltzer's not the same thing. Gotcha. I think I'm conflating the two. Because I'd drink both. Imagine if they're forced to release everything and it's just redacted names on the Epstein list and a blank PDF file titled Trump's healthcare plan.
Eighth, 2024. He said, we have concepts of a plan that will be much better. You'll see it very soon.
Concept
Produce
of a plan,
nothing.
that's my favorite.
In May of 2025, at a White House event, he says, so we're going to be maybe coming up with something. I think this gives the Republicans a chance to actually do a health care that's much better than Obamacare.
Yeah, the thing that would be better than Obamacare would just be giving people health care. Like, and it's not going to Republicans are never going to propose something like that. It's not going to happen. Fuck it, call it Trump care. Oh, if it's universal health care, you can call it whatever you want. If it's universal health care single payer system, you can call it Daddy Trump's single gift to America. Okay? I don't care. That wouldn't be the the sticking point. But the point is, no, they would never propose anything like that. In fact, if they were rational, okay, if this was like a normal, not upside down world, the Republican healthcare plan would literally just end up being something like Obamacare, something like the quote-unquote Affordable Care Act. That would be the Republican healthcare plan in a different universe. How do I know this? Because this was actually the Obamacare plan was just a health insurance company bill. And originally, I believe it was supposed to be a knockoff of Romney Care. Oh, you would call it something after his name. 100%. 100%. The ACA is actually Romney Care. Yeah. It's exactly what I was saying. Like this in a alternate universe, like we wouldn't be having like this argument about Obamacare. Correct. Direct from the Heritage Foundation. That's right. We wouldn't be having this argument about Obamacare at all.
Nothing. People are sick and tired of the empty rhetoric. They're sick and tired of you saying you have a plan.
People get the gist of that. There is no plan. They've been saying for years. And remember, by the time Donald Trump came in, the Republicans had already tried to overturn Obamacare, I don't know, a dozen times?
Right.
Wait, maybe they had voted 50 times. Will you look that up? I think it was 50 times now. That is in 2016.
And famously, the closest that they got was the moment where John McCain, soon before his passing, ended up being the deciding vote that kept it. So,
I mean, they've been and
let alone like the way that they challenged it and had success with the mandate at the Supreme Court, weakening it as well. This has been an all-out assault from the Republican apparatus on the Affordable Care Act with zero plan to replace it with anything.
At least 70 Republican-led efforts to repeal, modify.
Forgot this. It was,
I mean, like maybe they're so big mad that they're the ones that never got to do the so-called Affordable Care Act or whatever. And that's why they're trying to destroy it. Hey, Bunker Cat, rating in. Welcome. Thank you for the follow. Hey, folks, welcome in. If you have not seen me before, I am A Difficult Truth. I do the news. I do the politics. We are here Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, at around 5 p.m. If you enjoy your stay, folks, hey, hit that follow button. The history we have now has compelled me to 1800s American books. I read somewhere that this Venezuela BS was in Project 2025, amongst other things he's doing. Can we get a fact check on things in Project 2025 that he's already done? I think there's like a tracker that's like a general thing. And it's just a little bit over half full. Hold on. Just to give you like it gives you like a general idea. Okay, so like literally at 50%. And it kind of tracks by goals, I guess. If you want to look more into this, it's about here. I got you. Hey folks, do me a favor, go check out BunkerCat 36. Thank you for the raid once again, and bringing your wonderful folks over.
Seven 70 votes that took place in the last
Thank you.
4 years of the Obama administration.
Appreciate that.
Following 2014. So it must have been just like those 2 years they had 70 votes. They did nothing but vote against it. And they still never came up with an alternative plan. In fact, like, let's put it this way. When Chip Roy becomes the voice of reason on anything, you know you have a problem. Here he is.
I think this was exactly what you were talking about. Why is Sandy always competing with ADT to steal his viewers? I don't know. You have to bring that up with Sandy.
Talking about the Republican bill to bar state Medicaid programs from providing. This is supposedly the House Rules Committee on barring Medicaid from providing gender-affirming care. But he's talking more broadly about the Republicans' lack of a health care plan.
And now we're sitting here and we're listening to nonsense about health care. Where my colleagues on the other side of the aisle sit here saying, well, you guys aren't doing anything about the massive expensive cost of health care. Why do you think it's expensive? Because you literally cut a deal with insurance companies.
Right. So just to be clear, like this is I agree with the fundamental argument that he is making. Okay. However, let's be for real, okay? Like, let me see the amount of times that Chip Roy has brought up Medicare for all, okay, to the floor. Bring those stats up. Bring the number of times Chip Roy has talked about universal healthcare systems. The answer to that is 0. I asked in Sandy's chat, but she skipped that comment. The Make America Great Britain Again was affair. It was meant to bring the UK NHS to the US by restoring British rule. I mean, whatever it takes to get healthcare. Chip Roy's monthly virtue signaling tantrum.
To run healthcare. You think that's going to run wild? Yeah. That's why they have 2,000% profit increases, and the American people can't afford to go to the doctor of their choice while we enrich insurance companies.
Yes.
And yet Republicans will complain about it, and then they'll offer milquetoast garbage like we're offering this week, and then go home at Christmas and say, look at what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're campaigning.
Just to be clear, again, the fundamental argument that Chip Roy is making is true. It's the same argument that we're making, effectively, right? The private insurance is the problem, right? The private insurance is the problem. The profit motive of healthcare is the problem. Okay. Again, however, Chip Roy is not doing this in good faith. Chip Roy has never, ever, ever proposed a universal healthcare system. Chip Roy has never even so much as said we probably should have a public option. Okay? At no point has Chip Roy ever offered any type of real solution with regards to healthcare. And of course, now he's trying to position himself as as the populist position, which, again, the argument that he's making is fundamentally on principle true. He is right that the insurance companies are the ones running the show here, and that's it. That's the problem. You can't have healthcare for profit. It doesn't work. It doesn't work because at the end of the day, you're not talking really about healthcare. You're talking about profits. You're talking about how much money are we making for the shareholders. What's the stock price looking like? It's not how many people we saved. It's not what new procedures can we offer people. It's not how much resources can we divert to hospitals. None of that. It's not about healthcare at all. Bunker Cat with the 100 biddies. Thank you so much. Hey, appreciate that.
On reducing health care. Well, congratulations. At some point, people will look at this body and say, maybe we should get rid of all 435 members of the House and all 100 members of the Senate and start over because Congress is literally...
Okay, so what he's saying there without saying it is like, hey, folks, people are getting strapped. People are getting strapped. They're getting they're getting choked. And that only leads to one thing, and that's revolution. That's what he's saying. Well, yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's on the principle. It's very evil. It's very evil to make the primary motivator profit. We know it can work.
Really failing the American people. I yield back.
Now, it sounds to me that what he's calling for is a single payer system.
Yeah.
Like, listen.
That's literally what he's saying. But my contention is like he's not doing this out of good faith. He's not doing this because he actually wants, to provide people a single payer system. And again, I agree with what he's saying. What he's saying is really true, actually. And he knows that. But he's not once ever proposed a single payer system. He's never once proposed Medicare for all or whatever. You don't have to call it Medicare for all. I don't care what you call it. Yeah, he's not once. Ozzy Welder, welcome. Socialism intensifies.
Either you're going to enrich insurance companies. Let's put it this way. Insurance companies exist. Therefore, they will be enriched. They serve no purpose in our healthcare delivery system other than to enrich themselves.
Correct.
They serve no other purpose.
Correct.
We have 1/3 of the country is already dealing with no private insurers. They get it through Medicaid or they get it through Medicare. You do not need private health insurance CEOs, board of directors, shareholders. They do not need to exist to deliver health care.
Yep.
And the only reason why they do
100%.
exist is because and to enrich themselves.
Yep. Really, like think about it. Really. Why do health insurance companies exist? Like they don't need to exist. The only reason they exist is to siphon off money, right? As the middleman between you and your healthcare. That's what it is. That's it. Like if you were to Thanos snap tomorrow, right now, all health insurance companies, our ability to actually provide healthcare really wouldn't be affected. If tomorrow we wake up and there's not a single health insurance company, okay, in the country, they all just poofed, gone, into the ether, into the void. Our ability to provide healthcare for people wouldn't really be affected. Like our capacity, I should say, our capacity to give people healthcare would not be affected. There would still be hospitals. There would still be doctors. It's going to be a way for Republican voters to think that the right supports affordable healthcare, so the problem must be the Dems. Yeah, and to an extent, and to an extent, yeah. I mean, kinda, yeah. And that's kind of the issue, right? Because the Democrats really should be out there saying, hey, you know what? You're right, Chip Roy. How about we put forth Medicare for all, okay? How about we use this procedure? I literally just forgot what it's called. Sam talked about it earlier. To go around Mike Johnson and put Medicare for all for a vote. You know what? You're right, Chip. Let's do it. Come on, put your money where your mouth is, okay? Pen to paper, Chip Roy. Pen to paper. Let's do Medicare for all right now. That should have been the Dem response. That's the same with a lot of industry. Yep. Doctors still make good money. No one asks them to work cheaply for substandard healthcare. Americans are just being conned again. I agree. I agree. I mean, we literally just pay money for nothing. Seriously. I mean, it's just absurd. Like, what is the point of having health insurance? Really? Other than like a money pit. Like you're just sinking money into the void. It's just like a tiny little void that we all buy into, right? That we just throw money and it just disappears. And reappears into CEOs' pockets. The Kaiser of Rome. People are underestimating the longevity of dictatorships. There is no more U.S. election cycle, and Trump passing on from old age will not help. I don't know if like this is gonna be something like that. Who knows? I have 3 tiny little voids and one is purring right now. Nice.
The breathless cynicism, though, of the Republican Party to actually try to gesture towards some sort of like anti-corporatist, anti-insurance.
Right, and just to be clear, to go back to the point that Soul Life was making, this is our job, right? Our job is to say, like, hey, understand that these people do not care about the healthcare at all. Like, Chip Roy is simply virtue signaling. Chip Roy is out there just grandstanding, okay? Chip Roy is not your friend, okay?
Company posture. The only way that they are able to get away with this kind of crap is when you have an opposition party that is this weak and is focused on defending the Affordable Care Act instead of saying we should build towards something like what you're saying. You could wash away this.
Yeah, like she's basically going where I was going. Like you could deal with this right away. You can literally say, okay, hey, listen, you know what? You're right. Chip Roy, let's get Medicare for all on the floor right now. I remember now, on the discharge petition, okay? Instead of extending the ACA credits, okay? Since we're all here, Mr. Chip Roy, since we're all here, you know what? Let's use the discharge petition is not something that happens every day, although it's happening more and more often with a more and more dysfunctional government. But whatever, the discharge petition, we're here. Why don't we put forth, based on the argument that you're making, a Medicare for all plan right now? We've got a bill. It's called Medicare for All. It solves the exact problem that you are pointing out. So let's do it. Discharge petition. I don't care what you call it. Don't call it Medicare for All or do. Call it Patriot Healthcare. Okay? Chip Roy sounds like the name of a side character in an old black and white Western TV show. True.
Completely empty rhetoric, this posturing like they're populist, if the party got behind an actual solution, because it's right there in front of them. The Republicans already have a credibility problem on the issue of healthcare. Poll after poll for the past 2 decades or so show that people trust broadly Democrats more on the issue of healthcare than they do with Republicans. But the fact that they can get away with cheap points like this is because you have way too many members of the party that's still in bed with the insurance industry.
Yep.
And the Medicare for All caucus is growing. Hopefully we can add 3 senators, Peggy Flanagan, Plattner, and Abdullah Syed, who would be behind Medicare for All. But this is the time to draw a distinction, because that is just a lie. They're lying about what their position is. Their position is still maintain the entire infrastructure for private health insurance, but get rid of the subsidies that make it cheaper for people to buy it.
Yeah. And yes, and that's how you would call their bluff, right? That's how you would call their bluff. I don't care, just give me health care. You know, Chip Roy would have been a red shirt in old Star Trek. So in conclusion, the woke majority report featuring unfunny comedian Sam Cedar, who has no experience in journalism, no one has ever heard of him, and failing news journalist Emma Vigeland from MSNBC at DNC, ratings very low.
That's the Republican
Relax, guy.
plan.
We'll be talking more about this, I think, as the months and years go on. It's going to be a conversation. It's going to be an increasing conversation in 2026, because the Democrats are going to take the House back at the least. And then there's going to be an expectation that you do something. It's not going to be enough to say.
Yeah. Like, I mean, honestly, like, as weird as it sounds, I do want Democrats to do stuff. I want them to start having hearings. I want them to start having calling the former and current administration members in, like Dan Bongino and all these other people. I want them to do these hearings, but honestly, if they don't do anything, just by them serving as a stopgap, is all I can really expect out of them. Is all I can expect out of the do nothing Dems. I really do expect them to do nothing, and that will be enough to kind of slow down the rest of the 2 years of this Trump administration. They're not going to take the House back. They're likely even lose seats because it's all been rigged. I mean, that's yet to be seen. I don't believe. I don't believe it's that gone yet. I think that I think that they're going to have a wake up call in 2026. Now, I could be completely wrong. Hey, maybe come 2026, it becomes a absolute consolidation of power. I have no idea. Michael Hassler, welcome. I want to be like Dan Bongino. Do you think Sam ever has any intrusive thoughts where he's like, screw it, I'm gonna quit political punditry and start my woodworking podcast? Yeah. Honestly, if I was Sam Cedar, I would be thinking that. Nothing changes, especially not for the better in 2028 or 2029. The dictatorship will outlive us all. Well, I don't expect a lot of things to change. It's kind of sad that I don't expect things to change. I expect things to not get worse. That would be a win for me, given the circumstances. Okay, dude. Hi, I come from a former socialist country. It was bad. How do you think that it'll be good now? Fantastic first comment.
Like we still have, we got the subsidies.
Yeah, save Obamacare. It's like it's not 2016 anymore.
Right.
Hey, folks, don't forget.
I want to be like Dan Bongino.
You're allowed to plead the fifth. That is our constitutional right. And Rick Scott, how many times did he plead it?
Yeah, like whoever said it would even be the same system? Like, what do you mean by like, oh, well, socialism didn't work the way it was supposedly sold to me, so why can't we we live currently under capitalism. Capitalism is the global hegemon, right? Capitalism runs the economic world essentially, and it's bad right now. Literally, we're staring down a fascist government, and we're trying to argue that socialism is bad. We have to change the course that we're on, okay? And left-wing critiques of capitalism are incredibly important. Are incredibly important more than ever. But capitalism is good for poor countries, though? It's not. It's not good for anybody. Look at it. Look at us. It's a ray of hope. No, it's not. Look at us. Look at us. Like, you can't honestly look at how we're struggling here in the most hyper-capitalist country on the planet, okay? How we're struggling and slipping into full-on fascism, okay, that has shown up in our door. and say like, yeah, dude, it's working. This is Jordan Peterson level of nonsense. Late stage capitalism is bad though, but early stage is good. No, it's not. How do you think it gets there? Like, that's like saying like, well, listen, folks, listen. Stage 1 cancer is okay. All right, you're not dying. But if you get to stage 4, okay, that's terminal. Well, no, duh. Well, no, duh. It's still cancer, though.
Like 25 times? Each time he had the right to do that. And it was about him.
Like we were saying earlier, like this is like saying like, yeah, dude, the whole, monarchy was bad though. Like capitalism is great. You can choose the color of your chains. Okay, you can customize your chain to however you want it to look, but you're still in chains. Early stage capitalism is colonialism. Yep. I mean, if stage 1 chemotherapy works, no, I'm saying that it's cancer. No, you're switching it up now. I'm not saying whether or not I'm not talking about chemotherapy. I'm saying if you get diagnosed with stage 1 cancer or stage 0 cancer, it's still cancer. Like, why do we want to wait until it gets to stage 4? Cancer is cancer. Under my administration, we'll only have the most sophisticated trolls, the perfect pedants. Has anybody heard that word, pedants?
Ian, go ahead.
75 times.
Okay.
You have the right to do that.
You have the right to do that 75 times when you are a former CEO of a company that was engaged in widespread Medicaid fraud when you were its CEO, or, it was discovered after you left. You can do that. But he did that. And just to be clear, sat atop, I think it was the largest fine in the history of Medicaid that they had to pay. And then
noticing a small benefit in capitalism is like noticing a diamond in the chain. Right. And like a lot of like, pro-capitalist arguments will do that. They'll dishonestly cherry pick, specifically, I think Jordan Peterson, that's why I kind of mentioned it. He'll specifically cherry pick and say like, well, look, it increased these people out of poverty of whatever. And then like when you actually zoom out, you're like, wait a minute, are we really that better off in the long term? Like how have we gone from like throughout history? Like have we really actually have we actually really improved? Like fundamentally, what is the difference between between like capitalism and like feudalism in this kind of like serfdom kind of state? My brother in Christ, just have Michael Hessler ban the troll. Now, sometimes we like to play with our food, but yeah, that's. I don't believe we're gonna get a fruitful conversation when we're already starting off like when we're already starting off saying like, well, socialism didn't work. Okay, well, where are you talking about? What system are we talking about here? And capitalism at least offers a ray of hope. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Capitalism can also be done in a less toxic way. The U.S. aims for max capitalism, like turning the hot water all the way up and cold water in a cold shower with a maxed out water heater. Yeah. Sure, but like the thing is, like you can do that. You can have guardrails in place to kind of subdue capital. But at the end of the day, those are all subject. Those are all subject to be undermined by capital eventually, right? Like we had a lot more guardrails back in the day. We had a large tax rate back in the day. We had a large progressive tax rate back in the day, and all of that fell eventually. I gotta go. Hey, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. So eventually that all goes away. Now you can, I guess, play this constant back and forth, or we can maybe try to find a new system. I don't care what you call it. Yeah, judgment-free zone. It's dishonest cherry picking. I'm gonna post homework on the Discord. All right. Denmark, Norway are all capitalist countries. They could be better, sure, but they rank highest of quality. They're going to slow stream of capital. Yeah, capitalism. I agree. I agree. I would much rather have that than what we have here. But all of that is subject to be undermined. Although it is much more restrained.
On to become a senator from Florida. Here is Rick Scott talking about the Republican non-existing plan for health care.
But the key phrase that you just said is, if we can get it passed. I mean, how does that help a family who is staring down premiums that are going to jump come January? I mean, open enrollment's going to end in January. What are they supposed to do?
I'm going to do everything I can. I've had a bill. August Pfluger in the House, who runs the Republican Study Committee there. He sponsors it also. So we're going to continue to work on it. But look, this wasn't caused by Republicans. Obamacare was created and it was a complete lie. Remember, Obama said you wouldn't lose your doc. You did. You wouldn't lose your plan. You did. You're going to save $2,500.
Pause it for 1 second. Let me just get back to these lies.
Also, hey, you know what would solve all that problem? All those problems? A universal healthcare system. Okay? Like, you don't have to worry about who's in what plan and whatever. You just go to a doctor because that's all it covered, because it would all be under a universal healthcare system. Back in my day, kids would watch cartoons, me, and not have a care in the world. Also me, as a very young person. Now 20-somethings like myself are driven mad by the news. As a former 20-something-year-old, I have been driven mad by the news. If you haven't, then you're not paying attention. Having some lemon rice today. Oh, here comes the food talk. I'm ready for it. Not gonna lie, it's pretty mid. I'm making tacos again. Nice. Captain Caveman. I actually know. I actually understand that reference. Archer Bojack, nice. Bob's Burger, nice. Oof. Waiting on Uber is rough.
About Obamacare. Obamacare is created an environment, marketplaces where private insurance could compete and provide insurance for people who did not get their insurance through employers. It was successful insofar as, aside from the patient protection part, which was very successful in making sure that insurance was insurance, more or less, aside from the expansion of Medicaid.
Hey, Judgment Free Zone, gifting a tier 1 sub. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's really kind.
it was successful in getting more people covered by health insurance. The problem was that it was incredibly expensive, and it did bend the cost curve, as it were, and made it so that
I always learn from chat as well as you in here. Thank you. Hey, that's really cool. That's what I'm really happy to hear that. If we had paid attention more when we were younger and not watching cartoons, we'd not be in the mess that's affecting 20-year-olds. I wish. Honestly, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me make this argument, okay? If I may, okay, I don't want to be the guy, but I guess I will. If I may, I would argue the opposite. If we were actually paying attention and understood the lessons of these old TV shows, maybe we would have not been in this situation. Okay, learn the lessons of the old cartoons, right? From Pokemon the movie, to Fern Gully, okay, to Brother Bear, who was the Disney movie. Like maybe if I may, okay, I don't want to, but maybe if we would have stuck. If we would have stuck to those lessons and taken them to heart, maybe we wouldn't be in this mess. Now we should watch more animated films in the Discord. There's some of those old cartoon movies. They do have really deep lessons. Woke difficult truth is once again ignoring the overhaul of my administration. I have fired RFK Jr., Christy Dog Killer Gnome, Creepy Cash Money Patel. Welcome Jordan B. Peterson, Dennis Prager, Sean Hannity, and Janine Pirro. Wait, isn't she already in the administration? We should watch more animated films, I agree. Learned a lot from the underdog. Fix the damn YouTube chat censor settings. I know. I'm getting old and see what the last in my generation have done to this world. Well, yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. I chat up by decades, forgive me.
Health insurance was only increasing 10% per year, which is a lot over the course of 10, 14 years. But it, it allowed people basically to hang on to a cliff.
Yep.
The idea that you can keep your doctor, you could keep your doctor, except for if you are on private health insurance, if you get your insurance from an employer, even if you get it from your...
Yeah, I think she's a prosecutor, is she not? Is Janine Pirro not the prosecutor of something? I forget what she was given. Hold on. Oh, she's the district attorney general. She's the district attorney for DC. She's the U.S. attorney for DC. Got it. I knew she was already in the administration. Hey, 40 bits. Thank you, Heat. I appreciate that. Look at that. Look, another tier 1 sub. Thank you, Heat. Thank you, Alien Night Owl. I appreciate that. Maybe that's why she was on TV sober.
Union sometimes. Guess what? Doctors move in and out of networks. Insurance companies decide they're no longer going to they're going to keep these doctors in networks. Insurance companies sometimes say we're no longer offering that type of health insurance anymore because they are chasing profit constantly.
Yep.
And the ACA was modeled after a Heritage Foundation plan where government, like full-on genuine neoliberalism, where government actually subsidizes industry.
Yep.
And so there are flaws, but that's not why Rick Scott is criticizing it.
And they'll say the flaws, they'll point out the flaws, and it almost sounds like it's leftist, leftist critique of it, they're being disingenuous. But the follow-up is, well, then what are you going to do about the expiring subsidies? The only thing that they have to offer is allowing these subsidies to expire and people's health insurance rates spiking. There's no alternative plan. And those
the alternative plan is we're going to give you less
health
subsidies.
Savings. Yeah.
We're going to give you less subsidies, and we're just going to give it to you directly.
Right.
I wouldn't lose your plan. You did.
Hey, thank you for the follow, Alien Night Owl. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the support. Look at that. The purpose of medical insurance companies is making money. Yeah, point blank, period. That's it. That is where that is where that thought process begins and ends, right? Like it's money. That's it.
$100 a family. The opposite happened.
But what do you say to people who say Republicans have had 15 years to change that and they haven't done so?
Oof.
Well, I mean, the Democrats in the last 4 years, I mean, they're the ones who created these subsidies. Instead of fixing it, they created these extra subsidies to mask the cost. Why didn't they fix it?
Okay, well, but she's not asking why. She's not asking why they didn't fix it. You could have that conversation, and then the answer is because they're also captured by the health insurance industry. That's the answer, but that's not what she's asking. She's asking, hey, okay, great, you're pointing out all these problems supposedly. What are you going to do about it? You've had 15 years to figure this out. Supposedly, if it's so bad and the plans that the Democrats did with the ACA is so bad, great. What are you going to do about it? And obviously he can't. There's no answer here. Following because why not? I'm trying to educate myself more. Yes, thank you.
I mean, if you look at it, Obamacare has failed. Okay, you know, I've been talking about fixing healthcare.
Yeah, he stole from the Medicare and put it in and put them in a hole.
What I appreciate now is there's at least some conversation. Will we get it fixed? I hope so.
But do you think conversation makes people?
The bottom line is they have no plan. Yeah. I mean, the to the extent that there was a genius to Obamacare, it was we're going to take Mitt Romney's Republican plan. Understand, the first plan for Republicans for healthcare is you are SOL. Government has no business in making.
It's literally like it's fundamental to their ideology. It's fundamental to their ideologies. Hey, Judgment Free Zone with another tier 1 gifted sub. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's not quote unquote bad. It's actually their plan. Yep. Dems didn't fix it because they had the damn subsidies.
Sure that people have health insurance. That's the first plan. The second plan they had was essentially a version of a Heritage Foundation plan that Mitt Romney instituted in Massachusetts as a Republican governor in Massachusetts, where the only way a Republican gets...
So this Republican senator previously was dishonestly saying like, oh, well, why didn't the Dems fix it? The reporter is asking him why the Republicans haven't fixed healthcare in 15 years. So that's what she was asking him. She's a reporter, not an elected Democrat. Why ask her what have the Dems done? Right, because he has no answer. According to the Washington Post, I'm planning to shut down the National Weather Service. Climate change is a hoax. It's a Chinese hoax. Look it up, people. And we all damn well know. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Why didn't the Dems fix what? They're talking about healthcare. So she's asking. Let me rewind. She's asking. Why didn't Republicans fix it? And he's turning around and saying, well, why didn't the Dems fix it?
Obamacare has failed. Okay, you know, I've been talking about fixing healthcare since I got up here. What I appreciate now is there's at least some conversation. Will we get it fixed? I hope so.
But do you think conversation makes people?
The bottom line is they have no plan. Yeah. I mean, to the extent that there was a genius to Obamacare, it was we're going to take Mitt Romney's Republican plan. Understand, the first plan for Republicans for healthcare is you are SOL. Government has no business in making sure that people have health insurance. That's the first plan. The second plan they had.
Woke a difficult truth has been banned by your favorite president for saying the nuclear N-word. You know, many people, they say you can't say nuclear. And the R, I didn't think fast enough to make a witty response to that one. I knew it was a right-wing plan, but I didn't know it was from the Heritage Foundation. No wonder it failed. Iraq was also their plan. So was Project 2025. All failures. All failures for the American people, for just, you know, the working class. But not failures if you are really, really rich. Not failures if you're really rich. And it is just a vague notion of healthcare, nothing more specific. No, they've got nothing. They just... Like she asked him like, "Hey, Obamacare, you're pontificating." Okay, I'm paraphrasing, but earlier in the clip, you're pontificating about all the problems with the ACA, all the problems with Obamacare. Republicans have had 15 years to fix it. So what are you going to do about fixing healthcare? And he turned around and said, "Well, what about the Dems?"
Was essentially a version of a Heritage Foundation plan that Mitt Romney instituted in Massachusetts as a Republican governor in Massachusetts, where the only way a Republican get elected in Massachusetts if they acknowledge the basic thing that like people should have health insurance. And so that was plan B. But Obama took plan B. And so the problem is Republicans have no plan C. Yeah. They just revert back to plan A, which is we really don't care if you have health insurance.
Right.
That's it.
And I just don't think the American public is buying this. Trump's worst issue set in right now in terms of what's dragging him down. Well, it might be the economy since I last checked this.
Think of one. What has Trump really complained about? What has Trump has really, really, really got him miffed? Rockets? No. I'll think of one.
This might have been Gallup a few weeks ago, but it's between the economy and healthcare. And the Republicans have lagged behind. Like the Republicans generically beat Democrats on things like border security and immigration, for example. And before Trump, they would usually beat them about the economy. But on healthcare, the public does not trust the Republicans as much as they trust the Democrats.
For weeks, all we've heard is how Trump's big, beautiful bill will cut Medicaid. But almost no one's reporting.
What are the problems with Obamacare under discussion? They're the answer I was trying to get. Oh, he was complaining about something that's dishonest before all of this. Hold on. Was it over here? You can listen to what he was complaining about.
Subsidies, and we're just going to give it to you directly.
Right.
I wouldn't lose your plan you did. You're going to save $2,500 a family, the opposite.
So he's saying Obamacare said that you wouldn't lose your plan, but he's saying that we did. We're going to save $2,500 a family.
It happened.
But what do you say to people who say Republicans have had 15 years to change that and they haven't done so?
Well, I mean, the Democrats in the last 4 years, I mean, they're the ones who created these subsidies. Instead of fixing it, they created these extra subsidies to mask the cost. Why didn't they fix it? I mean, if you look at it, Obamacare has failed. Okay, you know, I've been talking about fixing healthcare since I got up here. What I appreciate now is there's at least some conversation.
So that's what he was talking about. All right, we got it. You guys are fixated on Romney. Move on, midlifers. Well, unfortunately, the only reason all of this or any of this is relevant is because all of that stemmed from Romney. Like Obamacare was Romney care. The reason why we're all in this mess, talking about whether or not poor people shouldn't have subsidies, is because of that. The brainchild of the Heritage Foundation that was first deployed in Romney's state. Yep, as were Carter, Clinton, and Biden. Specifically, more Clinton than either of them. Clinton was egregiously so. I just noticed his mic is plugged in the back of his head. I bet a lot of these politicians bought stock in health insurance before Obamacare got signed into existence. I would bet money that probably happened. I would bet real American dollars that happened. So what is the Republican response? The House passed a conservative health care bill. That is a very, very, very big statement. We're stretching the definitions of healthcare bills. But okay, that would not address the expiring tax subsidies, but guaranteeing the enhanced subsidies will lapse at the end of the year. The 216-11 vote on the legislation capped a dramatic day for Speaker Mike Johnson, who can barely call the measure's passage a victory after spending the balance of the day managing an open revolt by his moderate flank. Moderate flank, Chip Roy, by the way. I hate the media, the way the media portrays all of this. Like, sometimes just the way they present this is infuriating. Ultimately, the bill is dead on arrival and will do little to quell the major inter-party split over the future of the subsidies, with many in the House Republicans vowing to continue to negotiate a compromise in 2026. Yeah, but like, it's kind of cooked. You kind of cooked everybody in the process. Dorito, Lord of the Ring, Dorito, Lord of the, wait, what is that? Lord of the Rings? No, Lord of the Dragon? Oh, Dorito Lord. Okay, I misread that. I tried to read too much into it. I'm glad not to be in politics as a career. It's rough. It's rough because you actually got to care. Like, seriously, like, people, the only reason people should be in politics, like, as a career is if you care about people. And unfortunately, that's not the case with a lot of these politicians. Every Dem since JFK and LBJ has governed as a Republican. This should start people thinking. Yeah, no, I think that brings up an important point of discussion. There's been a lot of inflection points, and I think that, you know, you're right. I mainly look to like the Clinton years as kind of like that full like transformation of the Democratic Party. This neoliberal third way Clinton Democrats that still kind of persist even today. Yeah, I agree. I care about people, but it's convincing older generations that would be extremely difficult. Yeah, it's kind of you kind of have to start making progress despite, you know, despite the folks that are messing everything up. Carter appointed Valkyrie was a Jesus freak out the wazoo. Oof. Yikes. Voldemort light ass. True. Welcome, Bad Lefty. Okay, so let's get down to it. The healthcare Republican bill would allow small businesses to offer their own health plans. Question mark. How are they going to offer their own healthcare plans? Are we going to subsidize small businesses so they can do this? Crack down on drug intermediaries known as pharmacy benefit managers. Great. And fund another kind of subsidy designed to reduce out-of-pocket expenses for Obamacare enrollees. I mean, whatever. This seems very unnecessary. Nuh-uh. It was Reaganism that made the Dems bland centrist. I think he played a big part of it because Reagan's success as far as being popular and as far as winning elections and whatever, basically told the Democratic Party, the Democratic Party learned the exact wrong lesson. And ever since then, they've been chasing the right. Slowly but surely. So, in other words, the solution here is kind of not there. This is literally useless. All right, folks, we only got that few minutes left because I gotta get out of here. So we're just gonna speed run through some of this. Whooping cough cases soars, vaccination rates drop. I don't think we need to go further much into this story, other than the position on the government, the government's position, all of these anti-vax conspiracy theories that have resurged since COVID. All these anti-vaxxers. This is the result. This is the result. Completely preventable diseases. This is a direct result of the anti-vax rhetoric and the anti-vax policy that is being put forth. And it shows. And it shows. This is a direct result of these policies, of this rhetoric, of all of these conspiracy theory people who have gained popularity. We could raid the serfs when you wrap up. Yeah, just go for it, folks, as soon as we're done here. Please, if you're on YouTube, just head on over to the serfs. It's all good. I'm not saying the Koch brothers didn't have their influence on it too. Yeah, I think what's happening is Democrats really saw that kind of Reagan success and wanted to replicate that. And I think that might have accelerated this kind of Clintonite third way corporate backed Democratic Party. I don't know how to raid on YouTube. I'm gonna be honest. Let me look at something here. Where is my live? Don't know. Thank you for the stream. I appreciate that. All right, let's see. Oh, it's on the studio. 1 second. Dashboard. It's probably a good idea that I learn how to do this crap now. Where's stream settings? Oh, wait. Oh man, YouTube Studio is a lot different. Huxley, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. I don't know why they hid the raid treasure in the settings. Yeah, I can't even find it. Hey, Anodyne, welcome. ZBiotics coupon code majority. Look, am I going to have to do Sam's job? Folks, have you ever had a bad day and you need something to perk yourself up? Check out ZBiotics and use coupon code majority. That's coupon code majority. We push Pedialyte. Look, I'm gonna have a sponsor war over this. Fix the chat censorship while you're there. I'll have to mess with this, but this is unnecessarily. You just don't have bad days. Hey, welcome in. Seriously, welcome. Good to see you. This is unnecessarily difficult. Stream settings. To raid. Why can't I see it? Edit? Customization? No, I don't want dual streams. I want to be able to raid out of here. Manage? Is it manage? This is fantastic. And just press all the buttons and see what happens. How to post the stuff and go get tacos. Yeah, go for it, because we're about to get out of here. But seriously, I do need to learn how to do this. Add stream marker, end stream. No, I don't want to end the stream, obviously. The customization tab. Are you trying to raid someone on Twitch? No, I'm trying to raid someone on YouTube, because that would be a lot. Raiding on Twitch is a lot easier. Raiding on Twitch is a lot easier. I wish it was this easy. Content. Live content. In none of these settings is it letting me do any of this. And it shouldn't be that hard. Oh, okay. I know what's happening. All right, folks, I know what's happening. I don't have 1,000 subscribers. Creators generally need over 1,000 subscribers and no community guideline strikes to set up redirects to other channels. That's what's happening. Ciudad de Mexico had much better tacos than Berlin. I would certainly hope so. Yeah, it's exactly what I found, Anodyne. Yeah. That's why I never saw it. I've been spinning around in circles, and it's not there because it can't exist. I don't have 1,000 subscribers. So yeah, I can't raid out on YouTube, which is wild to me. Wild. Anyways, we'll finish up the stories that we have, and we're gonna get out of here. So yeah, anti-vax rhetoric is directly leading to this right here. And I'm pretty sure it's not going to be just whooping cough. We're going to see a lot of these completely preventable diseases start to make a appearance. Well, heck, yeah, I know, it's wild. I'll likely run to Sao Paulo if I can't go back to Germany. That doesn't sound like the worst idea. Is polio back yet? There has been some, but we haven't seen like a big outbreak. But yeah, give it time. Give it time. Give it time. We'll see all the great classics: polio, measles, All of them. Give it time. Anyways, it's like natural culling with all the diseases. Yeah, but it doesn't have to be that way. It's completely preventable. Yeah, malaria, all the classics. The other day, Majority Report lost their Twitch stream. Yeah, it happens, but it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to just raid on Twitch, and you don't even need that many subscribers. You don't. There's no like requirement. I didn't know that there was a requirement for YouTube. No wonder I kept like going around to the same place over and over and over. It didn't show me the option. Measles is already reappearing. Yep. I'm an NC. Figured measles will be showing up soon. Yep. I know, really preventable people listening to stupid stuff making bad decisions. Vizora's Twitch got nuked very recently too. Yeah. She repealed, and I think it's okay. But yeah, she got nuked for no reason, by the way. Oh, dropped my thing. For no reason. Hey folks, are you ready for the Hunger Games? Patriot Games, National Mall State Fair, White House UFC fight. Hey, is this a movie? Is this parody? No. This is real, and it's coming next year. Big surge in SC, so it's a matter of time for us. Yep. And if you're not vaccinated, then, you know. Yeah, I agree. A state fair on the National Mall, an athletic competition calling one young man and one young woman from each state and territory to Washington, D.C. and the largest fireworks display in the world are among Trump's plans to celebrate the 250th anniversary. So anyways, the Hunger Games are coming. And a UFC fight, because of course. True. Yeah, just drop a link to the surfs for now. Yeah, that's all we can do. All right, I got it copy pasted in my pocket here. Maybe it's a backdoor bailout for iron lung manufacturers. Who knows? So what are we doing? Yeah, we're doing a national prayer event, of course. Why not? Memorial Day parade. A UFC fight, a state fair, 4th of July, athletic competition. Trump is gonna save the U.S. steel industry with polio. I mean, like, this is absurd, folks. This is seriously absurd. This is absurd. You know, I've seen this story before. Where is my... Oh. Come here. Twitter is so annoying. I hate using Twitter. I hate using Twitter. There it is. I found it. Hey, this looks very familiar right here. We've all seen this story. A UFC fight in the White House sounds like idiocracy, because it is. Because it is. It might as well be. It might as well be. The Hunger Games, that's what we're looking at. I will fall asleep at the aforementioned events even though I'm trying to get Usha to cheat on JD Vance for me. This is just the world we live in, judgment-free zone. We're literally gonna have a UFC fight, at the White House. That's what we're doing. We need more salad and less milk. Damn it! You know we have so many problems, right? We have homeless people. We don't have health care. We have a growing economic crisis, and we're doing this. This is what we're doing. Insane. The hooked cross, yep. A comet is going to go by the Earth tomorrow. Are we going to be able to see it, or? Truly insane and unhinged stuff. This is about as bread and circus as it gets. All right, folks, it's time for me to get out of here. It's just about 7 o'clock. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you guys joining. I appreciate all the support that you guys have given. You guys are what makes this channel go. Thank you for the hype train. Thank you for the new follows. Thank you for the gifted subs that you guys have given. Thank you for the biddies, heat, Thank you, Michael Hassler and Heat, for modding the chat. I appreciate it. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for hopping in the chat, Anodyne. Appreciate it. As always, folks, we'll be back on Monday, about 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you all. If you want to support the channel, please spread the word far and wide. Help. If you want me to be able to rate other people on YouTube, we need to get to 1,000 subscribers. So spread the word, folks. We're at 427 subscribers. So spread the word. Just 473? What is it? 473 subscribers to go. So yeah, spread the word, folks. That's the only way. That's the only way. That's the only way. If you want to support the channel directly, as some of you folks have already done so, wonderful folks. Thank you. I appreciate it. Check out some of the stuff here. Merch store, ! Tip. Join the Discord, folks. Join the Discord. Check out my show on this space every Tuesday at 7 p.m. This is the link. This is where YouTube goes, folks. There it is. There it is. If you're on Twitch, then hang tight. If you're on Twitch, hang tight. Seriously, though, thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you. We'll be back on Monday. As always, folks, please stay safe. Please take care of each other. I love you all, and I hope to see you guys in the next one, Monday. Monday. See ya. All right, folks, we're heading out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye-bye.